I'm a nutritionist, an animal nutritionist, and I can talk about copper and air toxicity, how different species of animals perform and symptoms are. That's informational. This is not research. This is based on some research I've done, but I talk about it. Where if you want to really talk about disease, you can specify certain disease and what type of a treatment, how that been applied, how many animals they chose in a setting, and then collected some data, their immune, their blood, their pain, their behavior, whatever, and original data is collected. Think about original data is collected. So I'm looking for a research which is original. That means I am not using Sandra Solomon's paper on copper to lecture. I am doing it. I am setting up a research which is on certain animals and certain diseases, and I'm going to try different dosage of different treatments, different medicine. That is a research, and see which one behaves or which heals what. So, but not one animal, a bunch, guinea pigs or whatever. They do all the time. So that is a research in a medical field, vet medical field. Yes, you can do that. But you don't want to lecture me. Oh, disease common to canine, one. Oh, common heartworm, no. Tell me about heartworm. If there any research done on it, then what was the best treatment they found out based on an original research? 3 of those papers.
Okay, thank you so much.
That makes sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Any other ones? We still have, I'm still waiting for a little while.
I had a question.
Yes.
So it's not really so much as we just have to make it about agriculture and animal science in relation.
Animal
right?
science. I have not
Just
even
animal
thought about
science.
agriculture.
All right. And then just, it doesn't matter how specific the topic is, it just has to have research behind it.
Yes, original research behind it. Think about new data created. New data created. I'm not using somebody else's. I am making it. That paper is giving us something that wasn't there before.
Okay.
A basic research, applied basic research. That's what creating data. We don't want a case studies. Most of veterinarians or doctors, when they find a patient, animal, whatever, and they are excited about that, and they want everybody to know about it. So they do the case study, case report. So what they do get the symptoms, what the medication they applied, how animal behaved. So they take all of that, then they want to inform the field of veterinarians. So they write a paper on that. That is a case. It is something randomly happened, right? It came to the lab and they started working on it. Whereas a study that I'm looking for, you purposely collected some animals or some guinea pigs. It can be the disease or something. It can be production. It can be genetics, so breeding, reproduction, whatever. But there are certain setting, random. We bring animals, put them in cage, pasture, barn, check their behavior, see how they are doing, and we recorded it, and then we summarize the data, and we will say, free range versus this versus that. That's what we find out. This is the original new data. That is research. Whereas case study is not. Survey, sending survey out, is a different. Social studies mostly do that, and it's not something that is very basic research. It's not. Maybe a new data, but the basic is not basic research. It's not. They didn't got this. This is just sending out some survey questionnaire. That's not a basic research. And then diagnostic treatment, again, they have usually very limited animal numbers. And if they're doing it and they were trying something that they didn't know what the disease was, and they were trying different things, again, this is not a basic research. It is just like some diagnostic treatment stuff. Basic research is creation of new data, usually is a setting, And usually we have a breed of animals, different kind. It can be guinea pig, it can be, actually it can be reptiles, but you have to do research on them. Means they have collected so many reptiles in a different cages and they randomly apply different things to them. And then they find out the level, 0 level of this and 10 ppm and 20 ppm. And then they find out the animals are behaving, acting up or whatever. So that is really like you actually brought the animal in and apply the research, or you go to the field. You can go to the field and do applied certain restrictions, some certain treatments to the animals and find out their behavior or their health outcome, and that can be a research. Okay.
So
But
do you,
yeah.
I was gonna ask, do you think a topic of like an alternative to another poultry bird other than chicken would work? Would that research topic work?
Tell me what, do you have some papers that you have found out? Because to me, first find your papers.
All right.
Then make your thing, because if you have a good valid papers, then you can talk about it. You can see
Right.
if it is applied, make a title out of it. Okay, the other class just right before you, I said this. I said, let's face it, you want to make a good grade and learn something in between about how you present, how to do abstract, how to do summary, how to cite something you're learning about the subject. There are two things. Either you love the subject, you have so much passion that you want to talk about, but you can't find anything on it. That is research. Okay, what am I going to do? I'm not going to do very well because I can't find the right papers. I am a very practical person, and I know how to make A's. I really do. I did all my life. I'm old now, but still I'm acing. I'm doing some real estate course for just because when you get old, you have to entertain your brain and you have to do something new. And I'm doing it and I'm acing it. So I know how to make a grade. What I would do, if I was you, I would find the papers that they are applied and original research in the same area, even if I'm not too enthusiastic about it, but I know it's going to work. I'm going to choose that. So passion, leave your passion. Do the realistic, applied, practical thing. Get 3 research articles related to something that you may semi-interested, and maybe in some applied animals. Usually pets, there's a lot of research on pets. And you can find many, how they're doing so many treatments with the pets right now. So you can use that, but regular animal science, traditional animal science, a livestock. We usually use our livestock. And then we can go to rabbits and then guinea birds, or they're, like you were saying, alternative to poultry. Yes, we can use alternative to poultry, but it has to be a research for what alternative to poultry? What have we done? What we want to do, what we want to get. So has to be some research, alternative poultry, but it has to be a research. Why poultry would be less beneficial, and can you prove it, or is it more nutritional as far as the product? You can, there's a research on those. Yes, you can do that. Okay, all right. All right, let me give you, because now I have about 10 students. In this class, I have 13 registered. Let me call your names and see who is not here. Because when you are not here a few times, that means you're not here. Kevan Alexander? Kevan was in my class before, some other course. Okay, it's not here again, so that's definitely Gerald Bercy? Gerald?
I'm here.
Good. Okay, Gerald. And we have Tania Birdsall there. Okay. We have Jahari Clark. He's trying to get the camera on. Still, I don't see it. Are you there?
You don't see me? I'm here.
Yeah. Okay, I see you. I'm sorry. Okay, you're there. Okay. Yes, last time. And then Reginald, I think I was talking to you. Just even though the light is behind you, I can't see your face at all. But I talked to you. Okay, Reginald is there. How about Kyla? Garman? Kyla? Is Kyla there? Hello, hello, Kyla. Nope. Okay. Cross. Jordan Greer. Jordan. Jordan. Nope. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, Miss Sabante.
Here.
Magwood. Okay, good. How about Anthony McKitton? Anthony?
Here.
Good. How about, oh God, Kanaya? Is that Kanaya? I talked
Yes.
to you today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I pronounce it right? I
Mhm.
tried. Okay, McNeil, you're there. Myers, Haley? Haley Myers? Okay, so that's not there. How about, I think Sama is here. Magdalene? Sama?
Here.
Yeah, I saw you coming in late. Corey Smith? Corey? Okay. I have Brian Wilson? Okay, that's second time. And then Kyla Woods? Kyla?
Hi. I'm here.
Okay. Kayla Woods. Okay, you're there. All right, that's one, that's for sure. And second one out of 15, 13. So there's probably just absent. There are two real twice absent. That means out of 15, 13 are valid, and of the 13, but 3 are absent. So that makes sense. Of course, Reshma is taking care of the presency absency too. And all right, I hope you're all gonna stay in this class. So if that is the case, we have 13 total students in a class at this point. We used to be 15, now it's 13. So we have a little bit more flexibility than other class. I have 2 classes I'm teaching right after each other. So we can, but you know, we'll do whatever we need to do. So we can give you a little bit more time. For example, remember, when was the due date for title and citation? Anybody?
September 6th.
Yes, thank you. So you have to do it like, you know it like that, because you know it's coming. Postpone it to 13 because we don't have enough students. I mean, we have more time, not that we don't have, we have plenty of students. We have more weeks and we can postpone so you can be more comfortable. So what our title and citations are due on 13, okay? So I'll give you another week for that because we have time. If it was 15, 16 students, I didn't know at the time, we couldn't, but we can now, okay? That's the second thing I want you to that gives me a week or so to talk, that's good. The other thing I want you to know that this class, like my other class, we may have to go in person. That means the TA, Reshma, is going to be there in a class when the classroom is assigned. I have not heard of it yet, but Dean contacted me this weekend and she says, Sandra, we have to go in person. We need a student to be in a classroom because that is the requirement of academic affairs in person. So we are going to find you a room that you can Zoom in. I will be Zooming in and Tia is going to be there and we're going to talk. I think I'm going to lecture Zoom till we finish our learning and teaching. And then we're present when the presentation comes, then you're going to be presenting in the classroom and I will be watching and Reshma is going to be there to also absorb and other students. Everybody is going to be there from the time, at least at this point, I'm saying the time the presentation starts. But if they push me for earlier, I have no choice but obey the rules because school is in person. Yes, Magdalene. Question?
So I know initially this class, when I registered for it, was on Wednesday, and then it got moved to Tuesday last week. So it overlaps with one of my labs, but my lab doesn't usually go all the way to the end, which is why I can make it to class. But if it does, how am I going to come in person if.
I have no idea. That is you with the school. I don't know. I'm only a teacher. I'm truly, what do? I don't know. You have to be in a class. I mean, if there's a conflict, you know, the system of universities, I was there for 28 years, and I've been with this university for 40 years almost now, since 84, calculate. And the register, when you're registering, it should not let you register, or should kick something off, would not let to overlap things when they're changed. But this thing was not changed last week. It was changed before that, because I know when it changed, when Dr. Dokes resigned, and and Dr. Olga Boldenter had to find somebody, and I said I can do it right after my other class, which was 3 to 4, and now 4 to 5. I usually teach 1. I'm doing it for her because we are short an instructor, and she's looking for some more people, which I always willing to help her. I will do it anytime. So that's what happened. But it was supposed to be corrected the week before you all came, because it was 2-3 weeks ago when Dr. Dokes left, and she said 4 to 5, because there was a seminar at 4 to 5. There was a seminar, and I just took place of that seminar. So, but I don't know, there's a Wednesday, there is a course, there is a seminar. So it's not switched, but still there is. So maybe you want to go, and because of, I mean, no matter what, in person or not, you have to be in a class. You see what I'm saying? And if that, I don't know, you with the dean, that is not in my line of work. My line of work is teaching you and try to have you so I can, you know, we can present and everything else. But if you have conflict, you have to talk to the dean. But I know there's another seminar on Wednesday. Still, there is seminar. They have not switched that. They just switched another. Maybe Dr. Dokes was teaching on Wednesday, but still that course I think is taught, because one of my students was telling me in another class that she may have to switch to that. So there's a still Wednesday class. But if you're doing anything, do it ASAP, because time. And they will let you, because of the things like we're talking, make excuse. I'm trying to help you out. Make excuse that this changed and it kind of made it harder for me. So that student had to drive. And she said that makes it very hard. I have to drive 2 hours in the dark. I said, go discuss with your dean. I don't know. I don't know. I will try to do my best to teach, and I want you all to be here so you can get the best of whatever you have been paying for.
Okay.
Any other questions? Yes. Any other questions? And I understand completely what you're saying, but I don't know what to say. Any other questions? All right. So now we were at this stage that we were talking about what type of research, which is this, the thing is important to me. If we don't correct this now, you're going to be stuck with the title and your research for your summaries, for your abstract, for your presentation, and having it all wrong in not the right type of a research is not going to be to your benefit. So I wanted to make sure that even if you don't have your ideal title, try to find something that you can present nicely. More focus on your presentation than your desire at this point. That would be my way of solving this, what to do. And if you have any problems, ask me, call me, email me, text me. I will be more than glad to tell you. If you want to send one of your PDFs, I'll look at it. And I say, okay, you're in good, that's good. Do like this. I wanted this type of research. Or no, this is not the way it should be. So research articles, original research, basic research, 3 of them cited according to Journal of Animal Science. That was the last lecture. Student of mine sent her stuff in, very good student. She wanted to be ahead of everybody else, which I love it. That to me, she registered good student in my brain. It's first impression, people, no kidding. We are biased, we are teachers, we cannot help it, we are human. When we see students are trying to do their things quick and be there, it's nice to see a student that conscientious to do that. So what I would suggest you, okay, she sent me a title, and I asked her to do your citation. She did according to the style, the format that I have presented. How many of you gone to the Blackboard and look at the title and citation, the example at the bottom, the last one? How many of you? No one? If you're not doing it, why are you here? If you haven't been online to look at the Blackboard, so why am I talking? Because you can learn everything from the Blackboard, basically. And I cannot, if you don't go and look at your Blackboard and content, then I'm just gonna go quickly and we go through it, because I cannot tell you something that you have not investigated yourself. You have to go to the Blackboard. I have everything for you, everything. So there's an example. She sent me the example. She sent me everything she's done. Citation nicely. The format was right. Title was her choice, but citation, none of them were right. And the component of the research were not appropriate for this paper, for this research. Yeah, you can find many, but when they are reports, informative, you want to lecture me? I don't want to lecture. I want to research. I research you like you're in a scientific presentation. You've gone to some of these vet research meetings, conferences, and you're presenting a research. That's what you have to do. PAWC is coming and students have a research that they present. That's what I'm looking for, a research to be presented. So anyway, so I want you to get your title and citation will be due on 13. We postponed it, so you have more time, not to sit on it, to do it. Go check your site. If next time you haven't checked on your site, I will not entertain your questions, because I'm not gonna create something that I already done and you don't even look at it. Just for the being courteous, you have to look at your Blackboard, okay? So the title and your date that you wanna present. I have a Excel book number 6 in your content in the course right there at the beginning of the course. When you go on Blackboard, if you go to on Blackboard, if you don't go, you're not going to be able to sign up. By 6th of September, I want your titles to be there and your time that you want to present. If I don't receive those by Wednesday, by the end of the Tuesday, I'm giving you time. By Wednesday, I will assign you a title and I will assign you a time, random. I'm not gonna, I don't know. Whatever, I will flip a coin, who comes next, okay? So that's a condition. I'm not saying the paper is due for assignment, that is 13, but signing up for your presentation, because that will finalize and I know who's presenting when, that is needed. And give yourself time, because we have 20th is going to be summary deadline. So 27th is usually the first presentation. We can start first presentation 27 or the week after, but you do 27. I can give you more time if I need to push it a little bit more. But go and sign up for your presentation time and put your title that you have thought about it, that you think you can find something decent, some papers on it. By 7th, when I open my computer, I want to see them in there, because I'm not taking points off of you, but I just will give you a title and I will give you a time. So that is no problem. You're not going to lose anything. I just will do it for you. Is that understood? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes or no? Anybody understand what I said?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I need a little confirmation. My gosh, people, don't be, the other class was so enthusiastic, just asking questions after question. And here you're just cool. Maybe at the end of the day, I don't blame you. So anyway, all right. So now the next set, I'm assuming if you have no other questions, because you have not gone up to Blackboard to see what I have for you, you don't know what you're missing. That's why you don't have any questions. No, not good at all. So I'm going to go to the next session. That means summaries. As I mentioned, you're going to have 3 PDF files. You're going to find 3 papers. I want you to get the full text, 3 PDF. A basic research, which is applied. It's a creative data, making new data around animal science area. If it's a good research, I can consider it. You have to justify for me if it's good. But you send me in one of those PDFs, I will tell you if it's good or bad. Then I can guide you to see this is good, do like that. Or this is not good. That's what I want you to do. So I can help you with that. After you did your citation, according to Journal of Animal Science, the citation that students send me, none of the citations were according to Animal Science, none. So when I say Journal of Animal Science, that means go on a blackboard. Now I see why, because nobody's gone to the blackboard to see it. They're right there. I talked about it last week, and go on Blackboard and get to see how. If nothing else, look at the citation and title example at the end, the last document. So because I've done it already, I'm not going to go back to it, but I'm going to go to share the screen to go to summary, because the next thing is summary. You have to be able to summarize, okay? Okay, let me see how I can do this. It is going to be okay. Let me check this. Okay, let me check. What did I do? I don't want to do that. Okay, people, just 1 second. Bear with me. There we go. Okay. See that how to summarize article is right here. If you go to Blackboard, that's what you will see. You see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 documents for summary. We have 4 documents that I have up there for you for summary. The same thing you can see for the title, which I just passed because I've done it. I had those titles on my desktop actually. So this is the first. I want you to read it. It's very self-explanatory. It talks about how the article summary should be done, what's the regulations, where should be going, where to submit it. And deadline for this is 20th of September. I'm not changing it. 20th of September, you have plenty of time to do your 3 one-page summaries. 3 one-page means you are taking one of those PDFs and summarizing it. 1 at a time, 3 of them. There are 3 assignments in there for summary 1, summary 2, summary 3 with PDFs. You upload them there. Then I will correct them. Okay. And I said late assignment, 10 points, and I mean it. I do take points off, and I do that. 11 to 12 font, Times New Roman, or some nice way of writing one of those fonts. And the last 5-6 years published. I don't want a social science, psychology, and should be all related to animal science. I mean, it's all written, whatever I've been mentioning. And I've given you some example of field. This is animal science. I'm sorry, that's just boring thing. You know, agriculture, that's how it is. You are in animal science. I didn't choose that field for you, you did. So we want a full text, and you can use any of these sites. There are websites in here that I have mentioned that will help you to find if you haven't already found your PDF files. Okay, so that's just simple as that, just very general, nothing specific. Again, emphasizing on research data, basic. I'm repeating and repeating myself. I feel like I'm a record broken one. So next one is how to write it. I have given you all step by step. Think about it, put it together, and the main thing is here. Read it to understand it, to understand it, to understand it. If you don't understand it, don't use that. Go find something else that you can understand, because if you understand, you can present. If you don't understand, it's going to be very hard for you to present. So I'm looking for hypothesis and introduction, hypothesis, methods, and results, and a conclusion and discussion. A little bit, everything is a little bit, not too much, because we have only 1 page. You can use that page to the fullest. single space, write whatever you want, your heart desire. Put paragraphs for intro, paragraph for methods, and paragraph for result, and a paragraph for conclusion, and write them down. And a little bit of a discussion won't hurt if you want to. So I'm just saying, read and read and read to understand the paper. Don't copy sentences, change them to be yours. On Blackboard, I have activated the button, clicked on it, that will tell me how much of your material is copied. We can't do that. We cannot do the copying, okay? So we were not supposed to admit the student at this point, unless there's a good excuse. That's for Reshma. Okay, so plagiarism, I have a hard time to say it. And then you start writing, having those in mind, just as I said, simple, introduce it, give me your objective, spell out some methodology, give me the result. You want a little discussion if you can, because it's summary, and then make me a conclusion at the end. Single spaced, full page, with your name on top and a title of the article. Title of the article, not your title, remember, because you are summarizing an article, a journal article. So it has its own title, complete full title. That's what we're doing. Some students do the citation, which is good, but I have the citation and I'm gonna look at the PDF. So it's okay if you don't put your citation there. Some students want to impress me because they didn't do good at the citation. They want to improve so I can give them a point. And I do. When I see somebody has done wrong when they submitted, like 2 weeks ago, a week ago, their reference, and now it's all right. It's done it right. So I can see that. And I will kind of positively look at that. So if you want to do that, you can do it. And write the first draft, read it again, try to not to have typos and scientific. Don't write it, you're writing a note for your friend. Write it scientifically, it's important. And so, and here's make sure it's accurate, style is correct. And so this, what else? Don't put too many words because you're gonna take too much space. You don't want to do that. Good language, scientific language. And read and reread to make it nice. So I don't like typos. When I see typos, it disturbs me, and everybody will be disturbed. So these are very common sense. If you go on Blackboard, you don't need me. You can do this by yourself, and I'm sure you know how to do this. How many of you have done summaries? How many of you have done summaries? By any? Thank you. Okay, good. Yeah, so that's important to start learning how to do that. And then this is really becomes down to the rubrics, what I'm looking for. I'm always looking for the introduction, hypothesis means objective. I'm looking some methodology as explained. This is one paper now. And then results, I want to see some result and some conclusion or discussion a little bit. And I don't want to be copied too much, because if I see more than 30% copied, take points, I will take a points off. And then scientifically written, I'll take points off, it's not. And total is 50 points. And every day, 10 points off. In 5 days, it's obsolete. You have nothing left. So I learned when students are late, usually they are late. They're late more than five days. So when they're late, I don't need to say 0. They're gonna get the 0 anyway. There are few students, however, they just, something has happened and they haven't been able to get it. I wanted them to have a chance. And if you talk to me before, I can make exceptions. But without me knowing what's going on, I have no choice but be fair and equal. I try so hard to be fair, treat everybody equally. Same way. I do not partial treat anybody. This way, you know, when I say something has to be done. I have done this for 4 years. I've seen up and downs. I've seen all kind of excuses. And I learned, I can write a book on it, but whatever, I'll leave it for later. I have better things to write right now. And then this was one of my students in the last class. I never put a summary out, never did give an example for a student. This semester I did for summary, I gave you one, and also for citation, I gave a form that you can see. But this is she was good and she did a really good job. She made a good grade, and A, of course, A plus if I could give her. But it is very nice, single spaced, and her name was there, and the class and the date, and this is citation, means title of that paper was that. And then she has a good amount of info, introduction, some methods, some results, and some conclusion. That's all. This one with the PDF gives you 50 points. That don't miss, because if you lose 50, 50, 50, 150 points out of 500 is gone. If you're late 5 days, is gone. It hurts. You will fail because you will make a D. And if you make a D, this is the animal science major. You have to have a C. So you will not pass it. Anyway, so this is what we need for September 20th. Are you putting all these dates down? We got citation 1 week more, so you can get it. However, title is next week, title and your assigned time, because I have an Excel, which is one of those shared type that you can type in, everybody can type in, and I can take out. If you just put the date, then your name, and you didn't put any title, name without title does not count. Has to be with title. Changing title will cost you. So think twice. You can change it a little bit. You can change, manipulate a little bit the title, but it can't be just completely a different title. It will not, because I want you to think very hard at the beginning. That's the whole point. I want you to think very hard at the beginning and get yourself going very nicely. So this was my 2 cents. Anybody has any questions, anything that they want to ask me? And let me stop sharing. Yeah, so I have everything up there for you. So there's no excuse that you don't have an example. I don't know what to do. There's no example. There's an example. The only thing that I feel that most of my students usually is very challenging for them, don't know how to make it easier, is finding the basic research articles. Basic, not a survey, not a review, not a case study, not diagnostic treatment. A basic applied research which creates new data. That has been, and then another thing which has been challenging, to cite accurately. My goodness, very few students don't cite accurately. They always miss something. And cite accurately, I don't know if you understand or not, means your last name of the first author followed by a comma, and then first initial, period, second initial, period, comma, and then first name, first initial, period, second initial, period, last name for the second author, comma, and goes like that, period. Then the year, 2011, 2015, 2017, whatever, the year comes, period. Then title comes, capitalized, only first word, or special word, but capitalized only first, all the way, period. Then journal, J, period, of animal, ANMI, ANIM, I'm sorry, period, because they have abbreviation. Science, SCI. Then volume, which we're not saying the volume, we're just gonna put the number 48, colon, first page, hyphen, last page, period. And if the volume has number, after volume, there's a parenthesis that the number comes in. Is that too hard to do? Is it? I'm gonna put it on spot. Gerald, is that very hard to do? Gerald? Bercy? Is it very hard to do?
No, not at all. In fact, I think I found an article I might like. I'm gonna speak with you later on it,
Okay.
if I could.
Yes, for sure, for sure. I have another class today. It's a special. I don't have usually class. I may not even have any student. That course does not have any face-to-face. It's the internship. I don't know how many of you have done internship. That's internship. Usually I teach it. And they have so many questions they're asking. So I'm gonna have a little talk with them after this class. It's gonna be only one, not anymore, so. But if you wanna talk to me later or tomorrow, whatever, just let me know. Friday, I will be scarcely available because I'm going to see my grandkids. So that's priority. I haven't seen them. They all spread all over the world, not world, country. But I'm going to be spending time this weekend with them. My daughter's birthday, so we're all getting together. But I'll be back on Monday on it. And since we postponed it, actually, I was very happy because I want to be here for you. So we can talk about that citation because that's assignment. You're going to lose point. But for the title, I give you the title if you can't do it. Any questions, comment? Are we good? Remember, we may have in person. You will be notified. There'll be a classroom and we all will go there. I mean, you all will go there. Reshma's going to be there and I'm going to be there through Zoom because I am in Houston, Texas, not in Tuskegee. Okay. And it is a privilege to teach you. I love my students and I want you to learn. And I hope you all a very, very good year, starting good, keep it up. And if you have any questions, let me know. You know my number, 24/7, basically. Student contacted me last night, 10:30. This morning when I got up, I was gonna email her last night, but I didn't do that. I could have. I said, no, it's 10:30, maybe she's sleeping. But I did this morning. So yeah, just feel free, contact. All right, thank you so much. Bye-bye, take care, see you next week. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Bye-bye.